Now at 4, we see temperatures trying to warm up today, but we're going to be back near zero overnight. I'll have a look at what you can expect for overnight lows.
And we're on the road checking out the streets with all of the winter weather that we've been seeing this week.
And an unprecedented number of crashes, more than a handful involving state troopers. The timely message and the plea from police. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News. And we are glad you're with us here at 4 o'clock on this frigid Thursday afternoon. The weather's once again where we start. We don't even have the sun, though, to help us out today. At least we've had the sun out the last couple of days.
It was out a little earlier.
Yeah, not right there.
It was out earlier.
But if you missed it.
It gets a break every now and
Sorry.
then. Yeah.
I mean, you really feel like a broken record. And it's,
These are not
we're out of metaphors and positivity.
We're just
Oh, no. When Felicia's out of positivity, you know we are in trouble.
Put the alert banner up.
I have no
positivity. We got a positivity.
There's some positivity. We are closer to Friday.
We are closer to Friday. Look, long term, it looks like the warm up is on the way.
Okay.
I think it's got a couple more days though before it begins. So in the short term, yes, we have to cool down. I want to show you temperatures from overnight last night and into this morning because it'll give you an idea of what to expect tonight, because since the pattern's not changing very much, you can take what happened this morning, not necessarily the exact numbers, but the wide variety of temperatures. 12 below was the low temperature in Crawfordsville, 13 below for Shelbyville. Meanwhile, the airport officially had 2 below, and there was a wide variety of temperatures. Just depends on those winds going down to calm, the colder air settling, and I don't want you to pay attention to exact number, and what I mean by that is it won't be very close to this number necessarily, but there may be a wide variety in the temperatures by tomorrow morning. Now, we have warmed up a little bit more than expectations. I think we're all okay with that at this point. 19 is where we sit for the airport, but you do see that there are many locations that are still into the mid-teens, 14 right now for Kokomo. But look at Bloomington, up to 26. So yet again, we see that variety in the current temperatures. Wind chill's not as much of a concern because the wind hasn't been terribly strong today, but still enough of a wind chill out there that it makes it feel like it's into the single digits currently. We do have a little bit of a light snow that's trying to move through parts of Illinois. Eventually, we expect this to maybe bring some very light minor accumulation, less than an inch, to the very southern part of the state. But outside of that, it's pretty much the same old. Same forecast that we've been telling you. Temperatures dropping back down to the single digits, and during the overnight, I think we'll get back down, let's call it near zero, because I think you're going to be a few degrees either side of that depending on where you are. That's a cold start for tomorrow, but we do expect the temperatures to get back into the mid-teens. We do have 20s and 30s in the 7-day forecast. I'll show you when coming up.
All right, we're going to get to traffic here in a minute, but first, public works crews are still working around the clock to clear all the snow from streets across the city.
Yeah, there's progress made, but still work to do. DPW says it's also checking to make sure contractors are hitting those side streets as well. Brandon Schaff is on the road today with a look at how all of this is going. Brandon is on the west side right now. What are you seeing, Brandon?
Yeah, good afternoon, Felicia and Dustin. We are here on the west side. As you just said, this is Rockville Avenue. We want to take a look at the road conditions here in kind of the residential area here just south of Rockville Road. It's a little bumpy because there's still a decent amount of snow in some of these areas. And it's certainly something for people to keep in mind if they're driving on some of these residential streets, which, have maybe seen a plow come through already, but there's still a decent amount of snow on the road. You kind of lose a little bit of traction, a little bit of bumpy. You kind of feel the car moving around a little bit. Indy DPW on those 12-hour rotating shifts since last Friday night and will resume working regular shifts at 11 p.m. tonight. They acted contractors once there were 4 inches or more of snow, and someone who lives here on the west side, I spoke with him. He told me that they had more than a foot of snow in his driveway after the snowstorm. And between today and tomorrow, Indy DPW is inspecting the work that contractors have been doing to clear snow from the roads. Residents who think that their street was missed, they're asked to contact the Mayor's Action Center or submit a ticket via the Request Indy website or app with photos if possible. And on Tuesday, officials say that contractors reported that their work was done clearing the snow off of these roads.
If there are segments that have been reported to us and we have inspected and we disagree with the completion on that, yes, those contractors go back out.
And Bloyd says that there are ways to tell if the road was plowed. A mist pass usually means that thick snow is in the center of the road with tire tracks, and level snow means that a plow came through. Indy DPW does not plow private property. They say that homeowners are responsible for clearing their own driveways, sidewalks, and areas around mailboxes. And, speaking with that resident coming up at 5, we'll hear from him, the one over here on the west side with over a foot of snow on his property there. The efforts that he saw to clear off his street in his neighborhood, and also to just make sure that that snow was cleared off from his own property. We'll have that coming up in a little bit. Dustin, Felicia, back to you.
Still work to do.
I know it certainly is a process to get those tertiary roads done. Thank you, Brandon Schaff, reporting live from the west side.
16-year-old Dominic Sherman is charged with the murder of 35-year-old Stephen Coach. It happened on November 8th here at 39th and Pennsylvania Street. Right about here on this sidewalk, the body was actually found out in the street. And this happened just about a block from the City View apartment complex at 38th and Meridian. That's it over there. Coach cut hair for a living, and Sherman was one of his clients. And he had even come to the apartment complex to cut Sherman's hair in the past. Court records say that Coach was going to buy a gun from Sherman in exchange for a watch. And they came to the City View apartments to make the deal, then walked over to this area, and that's where Sherman allegedly shot Coach, then returned to the apartment complex and stole Coach's car. Sherman is just 16 years old, but is waived to adult court.
All right, thank you, Rich. And it happened again today. For the 6th time in 5 days, an Indiana State Trooper's car was struck on the interstate. 6
times too many for sure. Ashton Hackman is on this story today with what happened and the message from police.
From an overturned semi on 465 to slide-offs on I-70 and drivers spinning into the median on I-69, it's been crash after crash for Indiana State Police.
This has been a marathon, a very, very long event for us with sustained emergency call volumes that we've never seen before.
From the start of the storm Saturday to Thursday afternoon, state troopers in the Indianapolis district responded to 530 crashes, 212 slide-offs, and 732 stuck vehicles. And along the way, 6 state police cars were hit. This one happened Thursday morning on I-70 near Plainfield. A trooper investigating a rollover crash. A driver spun out of control and struck the back of the patrol car. Both okay with non-life-threatening injuries. And this was Wednesday. Not just speed and slick conditions, but alcohol behind this crash. Police arrested the driver for OWI. The trooper walked away with minor injuries.
People make poor decisions in their driving. They even make poor decisions before they drive. That includes getting themselves impaired. And so it just makes it dangerous for everybody. Even if the road looks like it's clear and dry, you have to anticipate those changing conditions, those icy spots, because the bridges, the overpasses, the ramps, they're icy, they're slick, and they're going to remain that way throughout the weekend.
In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Yep. We got to slow down. All right, thanks, Ashton.
And we have some breaking traffic news to alert you on.
Yeah, I want to take you to Interstate 69. This is south of the city. This is near Martinsville. Let's go to the video because we have a vehicle on fire. It looks like the fire department just showed up. Now, this vehicle is over in the, it's out of the lanes. Of course, they just arrived on the scene, just putting water on that fire. You're watching this live from our NDOT camera. I'm just going to step out of the way just so I can watch this as well because I'm seeing this live with you. I saw the vehicle fire. I saw the fire department show up. But of course, this is going to cause a shutdown here. This is northbound traffic. That's the northbound lanes that you're looking at. This is just north of Martinsville. as it's likely going to hold the interstate there until they can get that vehicle fire out. Then it's probably going to at least close that right lane for a while. Eventually, they may be able to let traffic through on the left side, but you can see it's causing quite a backup as they try to get this fire under control. Unknown what the vehicle is. It did look like it was some type of maybe an RV, a larger vehicle, certainly not a car, but I couldn't tell because of the smoke exactly what type of vehicle it was. Of course, I'm going to keep following this. I'll watch this for you. Again, this is Interstate 69, northbound lanes shut down right now for this vehicle fire. This is north of Martinsville. And again, I am a map person, so I like to see it on a map. This is the area that we're talking about. You can see how it's lighting up on our traffic system. We're going to continue to watch that. Also check out some of the other areas that we're watching. We'll have more details as soon as we get them.
This is Jerry Maines. Her cousin says she was always smiling and there for everyone. Her husband, Cecil Maines, is accused of shooting and killing her December 28th at their home. Court documents say Jerry filed a protection order on Christmas Day, alleging Cecil had threatened multiple times to kill her. Her cousin feels a delay with the holiday left her vulnerable. So Heather Curlin created a petition calling for judges to approve protection orders as soon as they're filed. I talked to a domestic violence advocate about this. She says it currently takes about a day or two, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the judge's queue, for that judge to approve a protective order. And then police still have to serve it to the perpetrator. So there are some layers to this, but she also says having those approved immediately would be a great start. Her biggest recommendation, if you're filing a protective order by yourself, to contact a domestic violence advocate for help.
Coming up, a confirmed virus outbreak, tightened health screenings, and airport surveillance for travelers. The new investigation underway overseas.
Plus, don't miss our one-on-one with four-time IndyCar Series champion Alex Palou.
And still keeping my eye on this vehicle fire. This is Interstate 69 northbound, trying to get the vehicle under control. The fire department is on the scene. This is just north of Martinsville. We're also waiting to warm up with cold temperatures out there. Have all those details, weather and traffic for you coming up shortly.